Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Ultimate Collection Volume 2. And today we will be going over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle number 11. So the previous video I did was essentially the sort of end of the Return of Shredder storyline, at least for the Turtles part in New York. At the end of that story, they end up getting essentially kicked out of New York, and they head up to Massachusetts in the North Hamptons, where they try to regroup. By the way, the creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's hometown is the North Hamptons in Massachusetts. So there's a little bit of personal connection between the setting of the story and the creators. But anyway, let's jump into it. So the first page, we get kind of a thump, thump, thump. There's April sleeping, true stories. And as we open up, it's essentially a dream sequence. And I think Eastman basically said this was taken straight out of a Frank Miller Daredevil book. And I believe so. I think I can't remember what issue of Daredevil this was, but there is one where there's a dream sequence similar to this one. But he has his own personal take on it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, she sees the foot, and the foot basically look like monsters, and the Shredder looks like a monster. You know, and she essentially finally wakes up, and she finds out, you know, she's in this home up in the North Hamptons, freezing her ass off. This is deep winter in the New England area, which is appropriate because it's freaking freezing right now. I don't know what part, if any of the viewers here are in America right now, but yeah, it is freaking cold throughout most of the United States. But anyway, yeah. So she wakes up, and what amounts for the rest of the issue is essentially sort of a diary-style sequential art story, right? It's very cool. Everything is like an entry of sequential art for her recalling sort of in her journal what's kind of happened since the escape from New York right here. She goes off to, you know, her experience dealing with Casey Jones, and Casey Jones' idea to head up to Massachusetts and sort of regroup in his grandma's house, which is this farm home up in the Hamptons. And you have sort of this recollection of her, of each turtle from her viewpoint and how they kind of recover. So this is Leonardo. You know, he's kind of the one who got his ass kicked the hardest in the previous issues, and he's kind of going all Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator style in the forests of Massachusetts. It's pretty cool. I like this sequential art right here, sequential storytelling, is fantastic. Man, these guys were so good at sequential art. And when I say sequential art, it's the idea of using art to tell a story, and not necessarily using art to create like the greatest illustrations, right? Like by themselves, these panels don't really amount to much, right? Like if you're just thinking of pure composition or something like that. But in the terms of sequencing, you know, together to tell a story, it's phenomenal. It's an example of art being used to create something more than the sum of the parts, right? So he's chasing after this deer, gets his ass kicked by it, eventually gets tossed by him. It's pretty cool. You know, going back and forth with April's diary as we go through this. Here's Donatello. You know, he's busy, you know, working on the farm, trying to repair stuff. You know, there he gets hot water working for everybody. Everybody's super happy. And then he's busy typewriting something, writing something up. You know, nobody knows what he's writing. Could be like a novel or a journal or something. Looks like it's a novel with how much he's trashing these papers. There's Michelangelo, ever the trickster, but not so funny now. He's just busy training and working his butt off right now. You know, angrily attacking the wall, doing all this stuff. Man, look at all this sequencing going on here. It's like a combination between like a comic book and a storyboard, but just way better, right? Like storyboards are kind of focusing on the camera action and everything, but here it's like, you know, you don't have to like see how you can change the angle at will. That's like one of the beauties of the comic book, right? All quiet on the Western Front. There's Raphael. You know, he's obsessed with guarding everybody right now, always on the lookout, always looking out for the foot. You know, and you get Casey Jones, his introduction. So this is just straight up in the movie. So you ever watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies from the early 90s? This scene is literally in the damn movie. Not like exactly, but pretty damn close to exactly. Yeah, it's pretty funny. They get the car working, and then Rob loses control and crashes it. I don't remember Jeep making that many trucks. I only remember like one Jeep truck, and it was like what's it called? The Comanche or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't have a very fond memory of Jeeps. Just me personally, right? So you get a scene like this was always confusing to me. Why is April just walking on a lake? Like I know you can walk on lakes in the winter, in a lot of cold weather states. Though I don't know why people would do it just willingly, I should say. But yeah, she's walking on a lake and she nearly dies, and Leo has to go help her. It's good sequencing, by the way, like fantastic sequential art. And here Shredder basically calls everyone to task, be like, you know what, she's getting stressed out. You guys need to stop fucking around and focus on getting back in shape. So there we go. We got our Karate Kid montage right here as Splinter basically whips him into shape. And April is kind of, talking about all this stuff. Life goes on. It's a great. I like the diary entry and the cursive. The cursive is like a really nice touch to it. It gives this feel. I mean, obviously, it kind of dates this story, but at the same time, it gives it that feel that makes you really feel like you're getting immersed into this story, into these characters, April O'Neil and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, no, the Turtles they get back into shape. They find their center and they find themselves, refocused and revitalized. You get a nice little opening right here where it begins with her having a nightmare. And it wakes up with her, with breakfast in bed. Pretty nice. And then if you have this version, the commentary by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, it's pretty fantastic. And also very interesting. So this, to Eastman and Laird's point of view, is kind of the last time these two, truly work together. In the sense that they were both on the same page and both in agreement with how the story should flow, and it was a collaborative venture. They did technically work together in The Return to New York and City at War, two other big storylines that I'll cover later. But the partnership and the friendship between these two had started to deteriorate due to the pressures of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being so popular, which is kind of sad. Even the current book right now that I'm reading, The Last Ronin, they're together, but together, right? And maybe that's kind of the consequence of success for this partnership. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that you can look up about Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird as far as like what happened to them from the success of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that's kind of outside the view of what this video is all about. It's really about just looking at issue number 11 on its own, and it's a fantastic issue. Just freaking great comic book. Anyhow, that's the review. Real short and sweet. I'll be doing more TMNT later. But if you like this review, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. If you got any comments about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 11 or this review, leave it down below, and I will see you next time.